So it was a show for children.
I thought Dusty Baker was going to be in that suit for sure.
And children talk to the ball players on the baseball bunch. The kids also wore jeans when they played baseball on the baseball bunch. So go.
They did the Sandlot as well.
Go figure. Did they wear jeans in the Sandlot?
Yeah.
Shorts.
Most of them wore jeans.
Jeans?
Benny the Jet wore jeans.
And he was fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were like, all right, so like 1950s, like early 60s jeans material.
Kids today couldn't
These
play
kids
jeans.
are tight ski.
It's probably the same amount of same tight skis that kids are wearing now.
Not that I'm looking at
Matt,
kids,
the producer's got some tight skis.
Kids jeans and how tight they are. Is this thing on?
Yeah. We got one in now.
Oh.
Wait until we get about 5, maybe.
Yeah. Let's let people trickle in. We are watching an old episode of the Baseball Bunch to get primed and ready for today's leader of the pack. Feel free to chime in on the comments your favorite Major League Baseball star that showed up on the Baseball Bunch. If it's Dusty Baker, you're a cheater and a liar. And the right answer isn't Johnny Bench either, because he was on every episode of the Baseball Bunch. The right answer is the San Diego Chicken.
Was he on every episode?
Well, he was on every episode, yeah, but he's still the best. And that's the best mascot in the history of baseball, by the way. So, more finger wagging to you guys.
I'm a big fan of the Phoenix Suns gorilla.
Don't have Oh, he's great too. Yeah. There should be another show where we just talk about like old mascots. Phoenix Suns gorilla, top. San Diego Chicken, top. Mr. Met, top.
The Timberwolves wolf was a sleeper pick.
What was his antics? What do you do?
Kind of like like the Phillies.
The Philly fanatic.
Yeah, like Ray just does all that crazy
just
shit.
Throws.
Right, we got 5 in here. Let's go.
Throws hot dogs around. All right, episode Quattro of the longest running 80s baseball card unpacking show.
I don't know if we could call it 80s.
In the history. Well, it's the. That's right. We can't call it 80s because today we're going to be delving into. We're going to dip a little bit out of the 80s into the 90s with today's pack. But as promised in my mid-afternoon update with the folks, producer Matt and I, we were reviewing the cards the last day or so, and we realized mustaches were a big deal. And we mentioned the mustaches as we came across them, but we kind of cobbled together some notes on the mustaches. And Matt, please feel free to share our findings.
So what we found was in the first 3 packs that we opened, 16 total mustaches. Now, I was putting that in question because some of these mustaches are a little suspect. And when we're talking about mustaches, I want the thick caterpillar. You
want a cowboy mustache?
Yeah.
Well, if you want,
I want Super Troopers mustache.
But we also disqualified anybody that had a beard.
Yeah, it's strictly mustache.
As I scratch my beard. But strictly mustache. Matt, if you want to grab the pack and go over a few of the highlights, take out the top guys. But yeah, just give a little retrospect on
I'm going to show you guys some of the mustaches, and then we'll go over our segment.
Our segment is every Thursday we're going to be proclaiming a mustache mountain, and there will be a king of the mustache mountain as we go along. As you can see,
thinner mustache.
Greg Briley, tiny.
I put that one in question.
17-year-old boy mustache, but it's a mustache.
Stan Javier has a great mustache. He didn't crack it.
A Latino mustache.
See, now this one looks like it was edited in after the picture was taken.
Who's that? Whose mustache?
That's
is
Kevin Bass.
Kevin Bass, but again, he had that sort of Groucho Marx sort of grease paint mustache. I think. Denny Wallings was thin. Dave Henderson. I stared at Dave Henderson's card a couple extra times, and Dave Henderson looks just like Michael Strahan.
So that's just to give you an idea.
That up.
There's a bunch in there.
Look that up. Whole bunch of mustaches, as we pointed out. But the debut of our interesting side segment here, we have proclaimed. I have 2 nominees for what we're calling Mustache Mountain, and Matt has nominated 2 for Mustache Mountain. So
we'll go with the one that we'll start off with the ones that we each picked separately because
Yes.
there was one clear, distinct winner.
one king of the Mustache Mountain.
So the first one was Mike's choice, and that was Lamar Hoyt.
Lamar Hoyt. Yep. I picked him because it's a thick boy mustache. Also, it matches his, if you want to pull that back up, it matches his hair, a lion's mane, a bushy mustache, and a lion's mane.
Great eyebrows.
He's a hair machine. He's almost cartoon-like. So that's why he was my number 2, Mustache Mountain.
My number 2, he reminds me of my mother's ex-husband, but diesel mustache, and it's very prominent in the picture, and that's Paul Mirabella.
Yes. Again, New Jersey represents mustaches, and Bellevue, New Jersey represent. So Paul Mirabella.
And the clear-cut number 1.
Clear-cut. Absolute number 1. Both of our consensus number 1.
Without talking to each other about it.
Not even consulted about it. Separate conversations. Mark Clear.
Look at that stash.
It's like I equate it to a western, like a good or a bad guy in a western.
Yes.
Like it has a bit, like it's not cartoonishly
like
long.
reach for the sky.
Yeah, he's gonna have you reach for the sky. He's gonna play you in a game of cards. He's probably gonna cheat in that game of cards, but he's got that mustache on draw, so to speak.
I just snuck him in there.
Snuck him in. Oh, of course.
All right.
Mark Clear, current leader of Mustache Mountain. We'll update you on the Mustache Mountain rankings next Thursday. So, now to the meat and potatoes, the main event.
Real quick, somebody wants to know who the bobblehead is.
Oh, the bobblehead. This is speaking of mustaches. This is news reporter, investigative news reporter Brian Fantana of the San Diego news team with his little bottle of Sex Panther
News
right there.
team, assemble.
He's assembling, and he's assembling a tremendous mustache. So, Brian Fantana, Anchorman. It's a good bobblehead.
Surprisingly,
Solid
does
bobblehead.
not look like the actor.
That does not. Well, Paul Rudd doesn't have a mustache all the time. Only in
Right.
movies where he portrays a anchorman from the set, or a investigative reporter from the 70s. All right, blah blah blah. Here we go. 1991 Topps Stadium Club set. A kind of a specialty card set from Topps. The research that producer Matt and I went to find out about this set, it was definitely a turn in a direction away from your standard cardboard and bubblegum Topps cards into a more stylized. There, if you can see, I don't know if we saw the logo there. They were
logo on the bottom.
Kodak. Yeah, Kodak had some sort of hand in this, and Matt, can you let me know who we might be looking for in this set?
Yeah. Well, just to give you background on the Topps 1991 Stadium Series, big focus on photography on this one. A lot more action shots, still shots. Very untypical of a normal baseball card. Mm-hmm. At the time, because it was so different, it was one of the most sought out packs of cards for kids to go out and buy because they were so different.
Yeah.
The price values didn't necessarily hold up through the years.
Right.
There's no major rookies aside really from the Jeff Bagwell, price point wise, or and possibly not many rookies at all. And there was 2 sets of 300 cards each for the Stadium Club.
This is Series 2.
Yes. So the cards we're looking for today are going to be the highly sought after Nolan Ryan tuxedo card.
He's in a tuxedo. Yeah, I saw a picture of it and I was like, well, if I don't get a Nolan Ryan tuxedo card, I'm going to throw a fit.
And that value's at around $40, perfect condition. There's also a Ken Griffey Jr.
Of course there is. We're back to chasing Griffey's.
And a Jeff Bagwell that are valued at around $25 to $30 each. And then David Justice and George Brett are about $10 to $15, maybe a little bit more depending on the quality of the card.
Okay. And George Brett's probably wearing a suit or at least like a jumper of some sort,
Yes.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this pack.
This is going to be fun.
You guys are going to get some good close-ups of some great cards.
Thin boy, nothing inside. Again, we said there's no gum, there's no puzzles. This is just, this is high class.
Somebody said Fleet uses disposable cameras.
Wow. Wow. Really taking Fleet down a peg. So, yeah, this is... Fleer. Sorry.
Michael Corby. There you go, bud.
Thanks, Captain. All right. I like it already. This is a good-looking slick. These are slick boys. They're going to get stuck together. They've been sitting in this card pack, in this for a couple decades.
I'm going to start with that checklist.
This little border boy at the top. It's not a checklist.
That might be a good way to start the packs, is go find the checklist, start right from there, and then use it as the back of the...
Never. Checklists are for assholes. Sorry, this is a kid's show. This is the top stadium club membership card. I'm not going to read it because my old man eyes aren't going to be able to sustain looking at the little tiny lettering all over that thing. Who would read that?
You get a limited edition Stadium Club cards, Topps magazine subscription, a personalized Stadium Club card and ID number. Ooh.
Yawn.
Charter member commemorative 1990 cards.
That's garbage. I don't need that. This card pack was probably $85. But yeah, all right, great. I get a membership too.
Well, but that's not all. Join now and receive the very first limited edition Stadium Club commemorative medallion. All right,
it's just trinkets. It's just trinkets to throw away. This is a classy looking card, though. I might join that membership because this is a slick looking card. We've got Milwaukee Brewers Billy Spears. I think he was an infielder.
He looks like an infielder.
He does look like an infielder. But Billy Spears, just awesome. Like the logo down the bottom is great looking. Again, it's that sort of almost a high definition look in the way that it's shot.
He looks like he got caught mid-yawn.
Not your regular posing day, spring training, here I am like standing on the sidelines sort of photo. He definitely a good one. Not a great player, Billy Spears, because I don't remember anything exciting about his career. But what am I, an expert?
Insufficient Major League data available for accurate analysis.
Even better. All right, next man up, you've got the St. Louis Cardinals infielder, another infielder, Craig Wilson. Okay, he's a person. I don't remember anything about Craig Wilson's career. I don't remember the name Craig Wilson as a baseball player.
248 average.
248, yeah. Somebody's bound to know something about him. But is he from New Jersey? I'm sure that
Annapolis.
that could. All right. Well, that doesn't help us at all. But hey, he's there. So two swings and misses. Getting a little better here. Also a Milwaukee Brewer at the time. Outfielder Candy Maldonado.
Ooh.
Tremendous name. Yeah.
I remember Candy.
The ooh in your voice, certainly. Yeah, certainly a fun. That's a fun name to say because it reminds you of treats, candy, and it's a kind of a fun Spanish name to say, Maldonado. He was a decent power hitter.
Born in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, born in Puerto Rico. He could get it done back in the day. Sorry, just taking a sip. Cleaning the palate. And then here it is. We're going to dirty the palate up with Oakland A's, infielder, outfielder, utility man, Lance Blankenship. Now, if anybody followed the Oakland A's in the late part of the 80s, early 90s, they were the Cat's Pajamas. They were hot stuff. Anybody on the A's, your expectation was, hey, they're going to be a home run hitter or they're going to be super fast like Ricky Henderson. And, some of them didn't really live up to expectations and ended up being just sort of middle of the pack guys. Not leader of the pack guys.
Mendoza line batter.
A career 200. Not great. Not really memorable. Probably went to play other places, but certainly wasn't a guy that you're like, oh, wow, I got a Lance Blankenship in my card pack. So you can see I don't have a lot of enthusiasm. Here we go. Minnesota Twins. A kind of all around the league guy, Brian Harper.
In-booth producer for John Sterling and Suzanne Waldman, Candy Maldonado.
Okay. Brian Harper, yeah. Brian Harper's the next guy in the card pack. A good catcher, probably more of a backup catcher, like a, off the bench bat, extra fill-in. Again, I think the cards look great. The cards are these are beautiful pieces of memorabilia, but so far nobody to write home about. Our next guy, what I have found though, and I will point this out, a lot of the pitchers in these first 3 or 4 series, a lot of left-handers, and here's another guy, another left-hander, Dodgers pitcher Dennis Cook. Dennis Cook is he's a baseball player. He was in the league for a few years at this point. I bounced around the National and American League for a good amount of time. He's got a ponytail?
That's what it looks like.
Well, bring that back. It just might be a mud flap. A kind of a micro mullet.
I'll let you guys judge.
Yeah, you be the judge. Is that a ponytail? Is it a micro mullet? Only wrong answers, please. Next guy. Actually, here we go. A star and an early candidate for the leader of the pack. This is Albert, don't call me Joey, Bell. Card collectors from the 80s and the early 90s, probably the early 90s, will know that reference. There was a time where he was Joey Bell when he first came up with the Indians. Then miraculously he became Albert Bell after that. Is his birth name on the back of that card? Because if his birth name is like Dennis, and then he's like, no, like, can you call me Joey? Well, my middle name is Albert.
It does. So it says
Joey.
Albert Bell, and then on the card on the back from his major league debut, it says Joey Bell.
Yeah, show that. That's physical evidence. I know what I'm talking about. Big home run hitter. Also a total goon. Just certifiable a-hole, as they say in parlance. This is funny because a guy that when I think, hey, word association, Albert Bell, what would you say? Hit in the comments before I turn around. You wouldn't say Liberty Bell. You would probably say Albert Bell. Oh, Joey Bell. But no, if you were thinking of another player that coincides with Albert Bell, you might say Mo Vaughn. Because Mo Vaughn and Albert Bell, very similar, stocky, big beef boys. Mo Vaughn at this time, like young into his career. This might be a rookie because I see on the back of the card there isn't another card. This is a rookie card. This is a Mo Vaughn rookie card. We've got a new leader of the pack.
Oh boy,
boys and girls. Mo Vaughn, of course, went on to play for the California Angels. He was a New York Met. Maybe did a stint with the White Sox. I don't know all the stats, everybody. I'm just the host of a card show that I made up. But yeah, Mo Vaughn, a big time DH, a big time clobber guy. Like the other day's pack, Greg Luzinski, he would certainly be a guy that I would put on my softball team for sure. Not really for the running skills, but more for the carry a big thumping bat. So business is picking up here with the with this part of the set. One of the innovations that Topps was throwing in here with the super fancy Stadium Club Series 2 cards, we've got a sideways boy for world-renowned second baseman Willie Randolph, former New York Yankee. At this time, a Milwaukee Brewer, so that makes 3 Milwaukee Brewers in this card set.
Hold on.
What happened?
I want to kick Steve out. He's dropping promos for his own show.
Okay. I don't.
No, I'm kidding.
Anyway, let's get back to Willie Randolph.
Willie Randolph
would eventually become a Met manager. Would lead the Mets to the playoffs in 2006. Would also famously be fired in California on a road trip. He's best friends with Kelly Ripa's husband, I think.
Calls Upper Saddle River, New Jersey is home.
Hey, New Jersey. Everybody circle the bases. It's another New Jersey guy. But yeah, Willie Randolph, long, important career. Had a lot of years as a Yankee. Probably, for the viewing audience on the other side of the internet, probably the type of guy that's like, oh, Willie Randolph was my favorite guy. My favorite player. You're also liars because Reggie Jackson was your favorite player. If you were a 70s or early 80s. Or maybe Catfish Hunter.
PM's not in the chat today.
PM's not in the chat today?
To boast about the Seton Hall, Mo Vaughn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mo Vaughn was a Seton Hall guy.
And everybody also wants to know why you're not bringing up the Mo Vaughn Mets era.
I did. I mentioned that he was a Met. I didn't talk a lot about it because there's not a lot to write home about, but he was there. I'm going to have a tough time pronouncing this name. This is Chicago White Sox backup catcher, Matt Murillo. Don't know a single thing. I have never heard Murillo. I've never heard of that baseball player. Of course, he's going to be from like Union Beach or
Ridgefield, Connecticut.
Close enough. But yeah, he
looks like the catcher
there.
from.
He looks like the catcher from the Blue Lagoon.
No, Major League.
Oh, the Brew Baker.
Yes.
All right, so he's Brew Baker. Not a lot to say about him. A lot to say about this. And again, on our topic,
mustache.
Next Thursday,
I saw it from.
You might have a new number one in your hearts. Danny Darwin. Look at that mustache. Pitcher for the at this point
Red Sox.
For the Red Sox. He did pitch for the Texas Rangers. And he had that mustache when he pitched for the Texas Rangers, boy howdy.
Darwin's theory of evolution started with this mustache.
Yes, a big thick mustache. And again, real close up on him, like no action shot, just
I like
sort of a
the
half
late
pose.
80s, early 90s microphone in the picture too.
Yeah, almost like he's on a game show. Like he's on Sale of the Century, and
68% of his pitches thrown against right-handers fastball.
Wow.
74% for lefties.
Right. I didn't even have to bang a trash can to tell you those stats. Producer Matt's he's got the analytics all up front. Of course, he read the back of the card. Last guy, our last man, and another contender for Mustache Mountain.
Oh my!
Craig Lefferts. Kids, look at this Padres uniform, all pinstriped. Awesome stuff. Like the early '90s. The Padres went through a bit of a metamorphosis when it comes to their uniforms. They start off in the 70s with the brown and yellow, just sort of like dirt brown uniforms. They evolved to like a lighter gray, but still with like a brown top. And then they eventually got to these sharp-looking pinstripe guys. That real thick. Bring that back around to the front of the camera. That like thick lettering on the front. It's got the trace.
Yeah, like a two-tone trace.
It's a really cool. That's a cool uniform. I think they probably bring it back every once in a while, just to show respect.
This may be our first European-born. Or not European. He's German.
Germany.
European.
Yeah, Germany's in Europe. Geography, son. But yeah, Craig Lefferts. I guess he was a middle reliever. Probably started a couple games. Never really found his foot. Pitched for a long time, but never really like found his footing as like a really great like. Well, 2.95 for an ERA nowadays.
At this point for his career, he had 5 games started.
Okay.
77 career saves.
So he was our relief guy. All right. So all right, fine. Hit me up in the comment section your favorite Craig Lefferts memories. So
Lefferts just bumped Fantana for the best San Diego mustache.
Hell yeah. I'm going out on a limb here. Leader of the pack. I'm going Albert Bell as the leader of the pack today. Sorry, Mo Vaughn. Sorry, Willie Randolph. Like, I like the look of the Willie Randolph card, but I'm going because it's 90s. 90s, the first card of the first pack of the 90s, and just Albert / Joey Bell's sort of stature there. I'd have to go with him as our leader of the pack. Please feel free. If anybody we always say it. If you want to bid on any of the junk cards that we've got, if anybody really wants that Lance Blankenship, start the bidding now. Take it off my hands. I think that's a show.
What do we got next week?
Next week, I believe our next card set up is the 1988 score pack. I'm not going to show you too much about it. Everybody knows that score. It's kind of a curveball. It's not a Donruss. It's not a Topps. Everything has been Donruss, Topps. So far, score is going to be our first venture off the beaten path, I think. So I look forward to it. I collected a lot of score cards in my day. And there's a lot of garbage cards in there. So we're hoping for a good set. Anything else to add, Matt, before we sign off?
No. Just looking forward to our next show, which will be on Wednesday.
We'll be on Wednesday. I want to get that in writing. So, again, this one's at regular time, Thursday at 7:15. But Wednesday at 7:15, we'll be back here in action for myself, for producer Matt, for Anchorman Brian Fantana bobblehead, for our spiritual leader and super hero, the great Muta, for the baseball bunch and their jeans. I bid you adieu and have a good night. Okay, is the show over?